Great leaders are willing to sacrifice $1 to save their people. Politicians are willing to sacrifice their people to save $1. Coming up, I believe that you guys were as shocked as I was when Musi Maimane for BOSA and Herman Mashaba for ActionSA voted in support of the ANC for increase that budget. Well, there are other parties, of course, who voted in support of the ANC with its increased budget. But I'm mentioning these two, Musi Maimane and Herman Mashaba, because these are two guys who were very vocal in the past, vowing that they will never, ever work with the ANC or support the ANC, and that they will do whatever it takes to bring the ANC out of power or to take the ANC out of power. And seeing them all of a sudden in support of the ANC, especially on a critical issue like the budget issue, sacrificing the people of South Africa brings a very important question to South Africans, whether these two parties can really be trusted going forward, especially with the elections around the corner.
I think we must all reject any new taxes. Taxes in this instance are going to impact not only poor South Africans, but they impact the whole economy. It makes it harder to run a business. It makes it difficult for middle-class South Africans to survive, and ultimately it disproportionately affects poor people. You will run out of goods that you can zero base. That mechanism is ineffective at shielding in many ways what poor South Africans need. Therefore, we must reject poll taxes.
One of the largest states government that we've got in when you benchmark it internationally, we're spending more on debt servicing costs. We are looking after politicians and ignoring the people. And when you speak to the people, they are battling with high fuel prices. They are battling with the cost of food going up. Our people are struggling even to get to work. So our call today is that when we go inside to fight for the budget, we are calling to say there cannot be an increase in VAT. We reject that idea. We are also saying to them, rather than increasing taxes on the people, let's rather spend so that there can be economic growth. Let's fix the lights. Let's make sure we protect the people and invest in assets that will create jobs for the people. And lastly, I want to argue strongly today that let's cut this cabinet. This cabinet not only benefits from cost of goods for ministers being less, they don't pay for rent, they have generators. We are simply here to say to them, cut that cabinet, reduce their VIP and look after the people.
We presented to the ANC other opportunities to address the 28 billion rand shortfall that they thought they could get from this tax increases. Because ActionSA, we've been very clear, including this morning, we issued the statement that we will do everything to support people of South Africa who are financially stressed at the moment. So we cannot accept VAT.
Let me try and ask a simpler question to you. How will ActionSA vote on this budget tomorrow?
Well, we're going to vote. First of all, let me greet your listeners and thank you for the opportunity. I think it is obvious because the recommendation and proposal was presented by ActionSA. Therefore, we are going to vote for this budget. Because what we've actually presented, come 1st of May, you're not going to have VAT, you're not going to have salary adjustments, which were part of the fiscal framework in place. So we've given the Minister of Finance enough opportunity, and we've given him not just really saying we don't want VAT.
Can South Africans really trust these guys? Are they really there to serve the people of South Africa, or they are just there for their own political convenience?
Hey everybody, I know many of you have been looking at all the socials, you've been looking at all that's been happening in the country regarding the very process of the budget. Now, I thought it was important for me just to give you our own reflections on what took place on the budget, why we voted the way we did, what we voted for, and what we hope to achieve. Fellow South Africans, it would have been irresponsible for me as a leader to not have the fiscal framework go through. It would be even more irresponsible of me to not fight for the expenditure cuts that will make sure we reverse VAT. So I want you to come with us. As hard, as uncertain as the next number of months or weeks are going to be, but make sure and know I am committed to make sure that we have a budget that works for you. And BOSA has always stood to say we'll be the voice of the people. This is not about reconfiguration of the GNU or any of that. This is about serving the people of South Africa. You're it for me, and therefore I want to make sure I earn your work, your word, so that we can make sure we deliver a government that works for the people. Much love to all of you, and I'll see you soon. Sure.
Well, one would have thought that they are wise enough to know and to see the ANC's political tricks and traps, since they've been with the ANC long enough. But it seems like we were wrong after all.
Now, in a shocking twist of events this week, ActionSA made submissions to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance, voting in favour of the budget vote on Wednesday or earlier this week. ActionSA says that despite voting with the ANC on the budget, there are still some things that they would not compromise on as a matter of principle. Are there prospects for ActionSA in the GNU? Is the agreement on the VAT hike what the party envisioned itself? We've had a lot of postulation then across this week. Let's get it from the horse's mouth, why don't we? Party leader Herman Mashaba joins us in studio. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Mashaba. Appreciate the time. Let's just talk, if we can. We need to clear this up for people at home, of course. The exact promises or the condition that you gave to the ANC in order to vote with them on this parliamentary vote, what were those conditions and what did they agree to and promise to you?
Well, it's not only the ANC agreeing with us. This report was passed democratically in the Finance Committee meeting on Tuesday, was passed by Parliament on Wednesday. And what we as ActionSA wanted to avoid, because we're patriots, we love this country. The DA wanted to collapse this country in terms of making sure that we don't have a budget. Because what they were proposing with the ANC over the last month or so was insults and coming out with unrelated budget conditions to the ANC. That's when the ANC approached us. And realizing that come the 3rd of this month, if South Africa does not have the budget, I'm sure they will get into the next flight to go and tell the international community that there are bad things happening in South Africa. These people cannot govern. And when I realized this, when the ANC approached us, the last closing meeting was the presentation we gave them, the option where we are saying the ANC, because we've always made it clear to them when they approached us 2 weeks ago that we are happy to engage with you, but you must understand, 1st of May comes, there cannot really be VAT and the salary adjustment.
Changes to the personal income tax.
That's right. So those are the things. If you accept, we are prepared to really engage.
So to you, they said point blank that they wouldn't increase VAT, that there wouldn't be changes to the creed.
It's in the report that people voted for. So that's why I don't understand from the MK what they're going to be taking to the streets about VAT, because they participated, yes, they voted. I don't think they have an idea what they voted for.
It is really foolish of them to think that the ANC will, in 30 days, come back with a well-revised, even a decreased budget. After ANC has made it very clear that they are not for a budget cut. They are not for that at all. Hence, I'm saying that these two, they seem to be trapped right now because obviously we all know that there is no ANC that will come within 30 days with a revised or decreased budget.
The resolution that was taken by the Finance Committee was that there will be a 30-day period during which Treasury will examine whether there are other options other than through a VAT increase where we can fill the gap of about 13.5 billion rand. So that has been left for discussion and examination. And in the end, we will look at all ways and means of seeing whether that is possible or not. From current examination, Treasury has said, having looked at various areas where they can look, that it doesn't seem to be so.
Like others say, a DA says, cut, 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 cut. We don't believe in cutting.
And they went straight to the ANC's political trap with their open eyes. And at this point, there is no turning back in as far as they are concerned. Action SAs and the BOSA, they have lost every little glimpse of trust South Africans had on them. What do you think? Let me hear your comment below. And of course, if you're coming for the first time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.